coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Welcome. Good morning. I see we got Mary and Patty and Native Pride and Shannon, Ammo's Girl, and Lorianne in here. Welcome. My camera's a little bit off. There we go. Get that fixed. It is a bunch of craziness here in California. And I've just been trolling people. Of course. What am I going to do? I'm going to do what I always do. Do what I love. Troll. Yeah, everyone please hit the like. If you're watching on Twitter or something like that, please share it. Retweet. I do appreciate it. I was in bed early last night. Yeah, it caught up to me. Me and my son, we were playing last night. He was playing his video games. We had some good laughs. So, yeah, that was my night. I know people wanted to see me do more stuff, but that's why I didn't. How far am I from the fires? I'm about 150 miles. Yeah, about 150 miles from the fires. They're all on the coast. I'm in the desert. They're not even, like, the wind's not even blowing this way. The wind is blowing out of the north. So, yeah, I'm not in any type of threat. I am laughing because I keep pointing out to people that when people say this is all due to climate change, I keep pointing out, I'm like, well, California spent the most money on climate change. How much more money do we need to stop this ridiculousness? Because they could limit these fires. All these fires started up in the mountain areas. All you have to do is put in fire breaks. But they don't have fire breaks. They don't have fire breaks because people want to build new houses. And they're like, oh, are you rich? Sure. Sure. Here's a permit. You can build your house. And California, this is another thing about California. Drive anywhere in California. There's no, like, compared to like the Midwest, people don't have yards. Like, they've got yards, but not yards, you know? Like, I remember I grew up on probably close to half an acre. And I mean, like, we could play football in our yard, in our front yard side yard. Well, we couldn't do the side yard because there was a tree, but we could have in the front yard. But they are insistent upon putting these houses so close together. Like, yeah, like people in California, they don't want a yard. They want big homes. They will fill. What do you want, dog? I got nothing for you. Go play with the cat. You're gonna spill my coffee. Go play with the kitty. Go get Kane. Go get him. Um, good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Tim. Oh, it's absolutely arson. They've got a guy on video that they were arresting for arson. So it's like, yeah. They did cut the funding for the firefighters for their overtime, which was their training. They don't train. They don't train on the clock anymore. They now have to train on overtime, which I think is dumb. We passed here in California in 2014. We passed a law to, and we were all taxed for it since 2014. We've been taxed for it to improve the water infrastructure for firefighting capabilities. There's not one new water holding tank, pool, pond, uh, uh, dam, anything. None of that. This state mismanages all of its resources, all of its resources, and it's not even close. This thing, can you guys hear me okay? The with them turning off my power, and I'm nowhere near. I'm 150 miles away, and they turn off my power. It's happened every day since these fires started. Uh, yeah, when my power goes out and I turn it back on, my soundboard wants my headset and my microphone super loud. Homeless camps start a lot of the fires. I don't think there's any homeless camps in the Palisades. Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that one. There are no homeless camps up there. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. They keep dumping money at the homeless problem. So what are you gonna do about it? They bring zero solutions other than wanting money. And the money never goes where it needs to go. It goes into hiring more left-handed lesbians who are from Australia. Yeah, that's what they do. Did you see the woman in charge of the water department? Like, she cannot she can't speak English. Like, she speaks broken English. Like, okay, I bet that's effective. They have a ton of programs for forest management, but none did any. They're if you talk to them, they're like, yeah, we're all out of money because the money's getting diverted elsewhere. It once it hits the budget, they're like, well, you don't really need this. You survived on this last year, so we're gonna put this, or we're gonna hire more people. That the bureaucracy loves creating more bureaucracy. Like, I guarantee you, the forest managers service has a uh, diversity chief. Guarantee you they do. I see it here. But yet everything's going to be okay cuz all of our vehicles have to be electric by 2030. That was the priority. That, like, these cities and local towns, they can't buy vehicles now unless they're electric. And again, we don't have the infrastructure to support it. And what is the electric going to do? It relies more on the power grid. The power grid that we're turning off, we're you're turning off my power because of a fire 150 miles away. That's they they there's no solutions. So it's they stack ideas upon ideas and they can't move away from their bad ideas. Like, and they'll never blame their bad ideas. Good morning, Miss PJ. Good morning, Mr. Coop. What are you doing, dog or cat? What are you doing? Oh, here's what you're doing. You're hitting my keyboard and making things play. I'm not petting you right now. It's probably best if you get out of here. There you go. And oh, you guys are gonna see. It's been a long time since I've added to it, but I'll be adding. There'll be a video coming out later on today. Well, actually, you know what? I might put it out tomorrow. But it'll add to my dash cam playlist. I had a dump truck not even look and pull right, or not a dump truck, but a garbage truck pull right out in front of me. Like the guy didn't even look. The 17 million allocated to firefighters went to illegals instead. I don't know if that's exactly the case. I do know it was cut from their budget because they couldn't meet their budget. And oh, I guarantee you there was money for illegals in there. And now let's bounce this off of a friend of the show, Tommy Karate. They were harassing his family, who is a Hispanic family. And they've owned their home in Los Angeles since like the 1920s. And it's in a they're a Hispanic family, they're in a traditional Hispanic area of Los Angeles, and the county was harassing them over uh their uh their buildings. But the good thing is, we've been helping Tommy. Uh he's now buying his own house. He's taken our advice here, and yeah, which that doesn't surprise me because he when he and I first met in person, we talked about his VA claims, and he was not yet at 100%. He was like 70 or 80, I can't remember. But I gave him some advice, and I said, okay, go back and do this, this, and this. And next thing you know, he had 100%. And he called me and thanked me, and I was like, dude, you did all the work. You know, I'm just giving you the information that others have given me. I'm not doing anything but passing it along. And he, you know, it put his family on solid footing. Now they're looking to buy a home, and this was a guy who at one time, he'll tell you about when he lived on the street, when he was homeless. Super nice dude, super nice guy. Um, but and that's to other veterans out there. It does get better. You have to fight the VA, and it sucks. They suck. But yeah, it does get better. I like to sniff Colombian women's legs. I will not deny that. I will not deny that. I see my fellow liberal pro-Palestinian protester skipper of Veteran Nation. I am, yeah. Me and Palestine, we're right there together. We're gonna put our children. Uh, we're gonna hide our ammunitions in a preschool and then get mad when Israel blows it up. Why would you do this to children? Uh, Good morning, Paul. Yeah, so I've been having fun trolling people. I was trolling Billy Baldwin. Dude, I put out a tweet last night and it was some of the devastation of the Palisades. And I said, uh, Los Angeles wants to stand in solidarity with Gaza so much that they've made their city look exactly like it. I did like Jim Norton. Jim Norton had one. He goes, I don't know why people are down on Karen Bass. I think she's doing a great job. And the quote was attributed to the fire. Oh my God. And the people mad on both sides, mad about the Jimmy Carter funeral. It's like Trump did Trump did this. Obama should have snubbed him. It's like, dude, it's a funeral. It's a funeral. Like, I don't care anything anyone did. It's a funeral. Matt Couch is mad that X Premium Plus just went from $22 to $30 per month. I don't know. I don't see any benefit of Premium Plus. I don't. If they were going to put me in front of more people, I'd probably do it for a short time. I do pay for verification on X, but that also allows me to stream. So I do get a benefit out of it. Maybe that's something I should take out of the fund's money, because that's an administrative cost of the foundation. And people be like, "You personally benefiting." Okay. Do you know how many years I've been on X for at least 15 years, and only the last 2 years have I paid for it, and I've gone through account after account on there. I don't care. I just have a group of people who I consider close friends on there, and that's our primary way of connecting. And it has allowed me to learn X very quickly. Oh my God. Some of the shit people make on X. Yeah, were they supposed to speak to each other or fight? It was a funeral. Yeah, right? Right? Like, Obama shouldn't have talked to him. Okay. Trump shouldn't have shaken Pence's hand. Like, it was happening on both sides. And I was like, it's a funeral. You know, if there's ever a time to put, squabbling and bickering aside, yeah, it would be at a funeral. Don't get me wrong, I was still trolling about the funeral. I was. Uh, but that was just because I was having fun. Oh, Brett and Therese, good morning. You guys going to your workout? Uh, I'm trying to look through to see what else is happening. Buh, 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 buh. Some of the things that people, it's a big deal to them, is not a big deal to me. Buh, buh. I did troll the fleas a little bit. I posted Michael Scott from The Office saying, I didn't say it, I declared it. And I just put cease and desist. It's legal now. Like, I still can't believe you're friends with a lawyer. You're friends with like, you can get that advice. You could probably write up the cease and desist, send it to him, and be like, hey, can you sign and mail this? But instead they went live and said, this is a cease and desist. It's like, oh, can you prove that the people you're telling to cease and desist, can you prove that they watched your video? Oh, you can't. Even if they have knowledge of it, you have to show that they have proof of it. That's why you mail it, and you mail it certified mail. Hopefully, with these fires, UCLA will give the land back to the veterans. There's a whole bunch of land in Brentwood and Beverly Hills that in like 1916 was donated to the veterans for use of a soldiers and sailors home. And have they put a soldiers and sailors home? No, they immediately leased it out to UCLA. There's a baseball stadium on that land. And veterans are suing to get that land back, and they should have it. They should have it. UCLA should buy their own land and build their own land. Maybe they should buy up some of these people's homes from the Palisades. That's where they should put their dorms. Someone had a picture of the fires going by. It was burning up a McDonald's, and of course, everyone's talking about, "Oh, corporations caused this mess." And Ryan James Gadersky reposted and put, "Did Burger King ask you to post this?" That's funny. I'll tell you, if there's someone that you guys should follow on X, he's a perfect troll. Is Michael Malice. Michael Malice is he's a personality, but he's actually an expert on North Korea, and he wrote a book on North Korea. But he's a troll. He's a notorious troll. So here's what he named his book about about North Korea: Dear Reader, instead of Dear Leader. Dear Reader. Oh my God, he is hilarious. What are we discussing? Personas that Skipper has been caught designing, or a fursona? I don't know what's a fursona. I don't call it a couch anymore. I am insistent that I'm fancying up my place. It's a Chesterfield. So, would you like to have a seat on the Chesterfield? Welcome to the Rumpus Room. Have a seat on the Chesterfield. We'll sit beside each other and listen to the radio. Maybe Father Coughlin will be on later. I think America is so divided. I think someone needs to throw a child down a well just so we can all have a come together moment. I've now clipped you asking what's a fursona. Yeah, I don't know. What's a fursona? It's a sofa in the UK. That's what a fursona is. I'm calling. I'm drawing a line in the sand. It's a Chesterfield. I don't know. Let's take a look if they've contained the fire. Probably none, to be honest. If they don't have water, there's not going to be any containment. Oh, the Kenneth fire is going into Calabasas. Oh my God. The Kardashians and the Smiths could lose their home. So the Palisades fire is 6% contained after. Is this? Yeah, this is. Yeah, as of 3 a.m. Friday. So just 3 hours ago. Eaton fire, no containment. No containment. This is a straight up failure. Kenneth fire, 600 or 900 acres, nothing about containment. Lydia fire, 300 acres, nothing about containment. The Hearst fire near San Fernando, 700 acres, that's 37% contained. So that's all they have. That's all they have on this stuff. The Hearst fire could actually threaten a friend of mine's home. That or the Eaton fire. He's in the middle of those. He lives out near Burbank. Um, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind on the chat. Jillian Michaels. Oh, she hates Newsom. Yeah, she recognizes the damage that they're doing. Adam Carolla hit the nail right on the head yesterday. Uh, you're a Lego queen. We have lots of Legos. What does 8% containment mean? It means they've got a very small section of it under control. Like it's still burning, but they can control where the damage is going and eventually put it out. 8% means they are basically chasing it. Yeah, it probably means like there's a section of it where there was something that wasn't burning and they were able to get enough water. That's what that means. I've met several firefighters out here in California in the years that I've lived. So I'm able to talk with them. They have a lot of experience with fighting fires out here. And those guys are eye-opening. I was going to buy a property up in Big Bear, and I was worried about the fires. And I was considering doing a home with a metal roof and a brick uh building a brick building because I worry about, it's in the middle of the forest. So why would I build it out of logs? You know, why are they allowing wooden structures still? Like large wooden structures. There are ways to uh, there are ways to mitigate the loss of property. Metal buildings, metal doesn't burn; it'll scorch. But if you you'd put up a barn dominium essentially, like what Lynette's doing, and if you have it, other things with it, it'll get hot. But um, if the whole structure is metal, it's not going to burn down. Uh, but they told me, they were like, "No, here's one thing that's a great way for people to mitigate fires out here. Uh, there is a plant out here, and here I'll show it to you here. It's called ice plant. This is ice plant, and it's a very pretty plant. Here, let me go to all images. And some people, yeah, here, right here, tons of ice plant. Now this is a succulent, okay? So this is California. Naturally, these grow naturally and they stop fires. And you can see they bloom and everything. But these are a succulent, and when the fire gets to them, there's water in those and they kind of explode. This is a natural fire break. And they do recommend putting this around your homes. And they'll tell you, like these guys, they were telling me, they're like, yeah, I can't tell you how many times we had wildfires and people had ice plant around their home instead of a lawn. And yeah, their homes were less damaged or had no damage because the embers couldn't start the ice plant on fire. And if it got hot enough, the ice plant would begin to, they kind of explode, and the water then, gets on the fire. So it's a naturally, yeah, here's more people here. It's a natural fire break right here. This is ice plant right here. All these succulents. And if people incorporated that into their housing, if you made people do this as part of the zoning, you know, you'd build in fire breaks. Why are they not doing this? Because who knows? I'm not saying this is the solution, but it's part of the solution. Like here's another one. If more places had ice plant like this as part of their landscaping, it would help the fire break. It prevents the embers from moving, or at least slows them down. And when you have winds, that's the biggest thing, is how fast these things move. And saying, "Oh, we're out of water," just start grabbing salt water. Like just stop. Mike is now discussing pegging. Uh, POTUS suggested to Newsom. Of course, he didn't. Yeah, then they won't do anything Trump suggests because Trump suggested it. And that, like, look, I'm not saying you have to like Trump, but if he gives you a good idea, you know, I would probably go with it. I'm laughing about his sentencing. They're gonna make him be sentenced today. And if I were Trump, I would not show. I'd be like, no, come arrest me. Come throw me in jail. I dare you. That's what I would be doing if I were him. I'd be like, you want a constitutional crisis? You want to go forward with this? Okay, let's make a constitutional crisis. That's what I would be doing if I were him. Lawfare, they should have stopped it months ago. Once the Supreme Court stepped in and said no, he has immunity. Like this trial and the verdict should have been all tossed out because they used stuff that was the Supreme Court has already determined to be immune. And the Supreme Court, like I am glad Roe v. Wade is gone as an issue because so many on the right hyper focused on that, and let's face facts, it was a stupid issue. Uh, they hyper focused on it, and that's why we got so many bad judges on the right for years because they were only focused on that. I would have been focused more on free speech and gun rights. That's what I would have been focused on. Um, Millions of dollars are raised and donated to some 10 aquifers to be built 10 years later. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not one. And here's the thing there's water here. California imports its sorry, Chris Stockton Sasquatch reached out to me. I had to respond to him. I'm going to be on his show today. I was asked to go to The Price is Right next week. If I can make it, I will go. You guys have seen my Price is Right collection of when I was on the one time. I was working for the concessionaire. I got to make sandwiches 8 hours a day for weeks for the firefighters. There was a guy, he was cooking hot dogs for the firefighters, like feeding the firefighters. And someone called the health department on him. And the health department responded. That is how crazy this state is. How dare he do that? Does he have a permit? Like, the dude is cooking for the firefighters. That's when I read that, I retweeted out. I said, "Hey, this might not be the best time, but are all the firefighters vaccinated and boosted? I think we should be sure just for safety's sake. Because if we're gonna be this pedantic, oh, I'll be this pedantic." Um, John Fetterman said, "I demand I need to be made Pope of Greenland." Can we do that? Can we make him the Pope of Greenland? That's hilarious. When politicians can embrace, you know, can embrace the trolling, I love it. Uh, I gotta okay. Can someone in the chat remember the roof Koreans? Can someone in the chat Photoshop, take out the guns and put a fire hose in their hands so I can tweet out what we need is uh we need roof Korean firefighters. That would be funny. Uh it's a little bit chilly here this morning. It doesn't feel as bad as yesterday. Let's see what it is today. So it's 35. It's actually cooler today. But you know what it is? I don't have the wind today. There's no wind. Like, it is not windy here today. Thank God. Hopefully it's like that all over. Ba, ba, ba. Oh, so California's assembly is now looking to do a special session to give Newsom 25 million. Oh, to fight Trump? What? See, this is the ridiculousness. The state is burning, but yet they want to give 'em money to fight Trump. Like, your people are dying. You are just crazy. -1 there. It was -7 when Spliffy got up. What's -7 in Celsius? Hold on. I'm not used to looking up that one in Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, so it'd be 19 degrees Fahrenheit. That is cold. That is cold. Do you guys have snow? 23 in Texas, 31 in Oklahoma, still snowing. I saw someone had pictures of snow in Texas, and I was like, "What part of Texas is getting snow right now?" I'm not saying I don't believe it. I just haven't heard anything. Normally, when you get snow in Texas, people in Texas have no clue how to deal with snow, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Remember when it got cold and uh, people were freaking out about the heaters? And I was like, okay, it's just cold. Like, literally, there are things you can do in your home, to warm it up. No snow, just frost everywhere. Okay. Someone come get Mother Nature out of my yard. She's drunk. Why? What's happening in your yard, Squid? Hey guys, I'm gonna be back in a second. I gotta get more coffee. Uh, but it won't take me that long. Okay, my scene's changed, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy. I'm gonna have to change some things up. Oh, freezing rain, 33 degrees. But okay, freezing rain, especially in the South, can be really bad because it looks okay, but everything is slick as can be. And here's all you do. Slow down. But people don't. They don't slow down. North Texas, Louisville got snow. Okay. Yeah. You need to slow down in ice and freezing rain. In snow. Slow down. That's all you gotta do. But I get people here, like when I go up to the mountain, they put chains on, they think, "Oh, I can go as fast as normal." It's like you have chains on your tires. Oh, we got Mandy Pandy on Rumble. Thank you. Chesterfield is a leather sofa in a different style. It's more square. I'm sorry. I'm calling everything a Chesterfield. I'm fancying this shit up. What if the fires were bought and paid for by the government to push forward the city of tomorrow? Oh yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen with this. Like, your son in Texas has 3 inches. I did see the pictures. I can believe it. Um, I hadn't heard anything about it. Normally, whenever anything like that hits, everybody loses their effing mind. I think I might be going to Vegas next week. Vegas. Florida needs to get Mother Nature on the phone. We don't do cold here. Just dress in layers. Dress in layers, and you know, um, you can close up parts of your home. If you don't need it, close the doors. Um, you know, make yourself. Here's the thing: bake yourself some bread and make yourself like a hot stew. I made chili yesterday. It was very good. We enjoyed the chili. Yeah, make yourself something hearty and warm because that'll warm you up on the inside. Um, Trying to think. If you have drafty windows, throw a blanket over them. There are things you can do. I'm going on a cruise within a month. Ooh, where's your cruise going to? I gotta talk to my brother about that veterans cruise. I can't find my UGG boots. The basic white bitch part of my personality is crying. Wear 2 layers of socks. Again, layers. Dressing in layers is, yeah, I've got a t-shirt and I've got this. If it were colder, I've got a long sleeve shirt I would put on over my t-shirt before putting this on, and then drinking my coffee. Just heating up warm chicken broth. I learned that in the military. We do that all the time. Warm chicken broth. Okay, thank you, Coop. Coop sent me the problem is these are North Korean soldiers. The roof Koreans were just uh, they were just average Korean people, Korean business owners who during the riots in LA just they stood on their roofs with guns, and if people tried to loot their store, they would shoot them. I had to put crampons on my boot to keep from falling on my ass. What are crampons? You baked bread this morning. So yesterday I made chili. I did crock pot chili. And I also made pound cake in the bread maker. And I think that was a winning recipe. Someone had sent me that recipe. So thank you. Send me more bread maker recipes. Um, and what was it? We also went through my son's old clothes because a friend of mine, her family, their business burnt down in LA. And I don't know if they lost their house, but they have kids, so I'm going through getting all the clothes and stuff, and I'll get that to my friend today, and that is going to go to uh, you know out to LA, so people with kids, the kids will have clothes. Oh yeah, so yesterday I posted a thing here. I'll show it. This is from the Toledo firefighters thing. This is my grandfather. So yesterday was 54 years ago that he died. Uh, I still think he's on the firefighter memorial in Toledo. I think he's still the only one that died in an off-duty incident. He died saving my dad and my aunt. Uh, they were snowmobiling. They were told that the ice was safe. They called all the people they needed to. Were told that the ice was safe. They were snowmobiling on it, and here a cutter had gone through, and my dad, and my aunt fell through the ice, and my grandfather went out there and saved him. And later that day at the hospital, died of a massive heart attack. But because his actions were within the line of duty, they put him on the firefighters memorial, and So yeah, that was 54 years ago yesterday. I mean, I never met him, so I mean, it's not, a sad day, but it's definitely a day that we remember him and what he did. And that also drives it. It has driven my family. My family has always had. Yeah, they. Why don't they do controlled fires like us in Australia, Mandy Pandy? Good question. Why don't they? Um, yeah, so it's definitely driven us, for our service. I think that's a big reason. My dad was very big on us serving. Well, he never pressured us to serve, but he pressured like he taught us to respect the military and stuff like that. And you know, my the men in my family, when there is an emergency, we have a tendency to just act. My grandfather, my father, my other grandfather on the other side, me and my brother going into the military. Yeah, we have, like, when something happens, like, it's like instinctual. We just go and do whatever we're gonna do. So got to get going on my soup. I might be on for another hour or so. Snowmobile still sounds strange to me. In Alaska, they call them snow machines. See, to me, growing up in the Midwest, a snow machine is one of the things that generates the fake snow and puts that out. Now, if you're in Michigan, I haven't seen it as much in Ohio, but in Michigan on the Great Lakes, especially the smaller ones, those are the ones that will completely freeze. This time of year at night, you'll see lights going back and forth, and it's people bringing things back and forth to the black market in Canada because you can go and you don't have to go through a checkpoint, and you'll see, yeah, it the black market goods, yeah, they spike in the winter, and that's why. That was the old bootlegger trick. As soon as it would freeze in the winter, there would be more alcohol at the speakeasies. Uh, if we send more money and weapons to Ukraine, the fires will stop. Promise. Lake Erie just started to freeze. Lake Erie's a little bit too big. Okay. I have been ice fishing out on Lake Erie, and I met some people, and they were like, "Oh yeah, come ice fishing." And we show up, and this guy just has like, it was an old Monte Carlo. Oh, there we go. Yeah, these pictures. Okay, Coop. I'm using these pictures. I'm using these pictures. You guys are gonna see some trolling out of me today because of Coop. Um, but yeah, so I show up to our fishing guide, and it was outside of Port Clinton. I don't remember where it was exactly. It wasn't exactly Port Clinton. Um, this guy had an old Monte Carlo stripped down. And he's like, "Yeah, put your stuff in the trunk. Like, no trunk lid, just an empty trunk." So we put all of our equipment in the truck, in the trunk of the car, and he drives us out on the ice, and we go out and we're fishing. And I'm there, and I've got all my stuff, and my buddy's like, we're talking, and I'm like, "What's up with this dude in this car?" And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "We literally came out here in a car with no windows. Like, it had the front windshield, but all the other windows were bashed out." I'm like, And he's like, "Oh, that's so he doesn't have to take his real car out here in case we have to leave it." And I'm like, "Why would we have to leave it?" And he's like, "Oh, in case if the ice breaks around us, we'll float out into the lake, and then the Coast Guard has to rescue us, and everything gets left here." And I'm like, "What?" And he's explaining, and I'm like, "What do you mean everything gets left here?" He's like, "Your fishing pole." I'm like, "Dude, I have like," and this was in the 90s, and I was a teenager. I'm like, "I've got like $400 in fishing equipment I brought. Why did you not tell me this?" And I didn't know, it was my first time ice fishing. I've gone ice fishing since, but in better conditions. But I didn't know that you could break off and then the Coast Guard has to come save you. And I was like, dude, I am never effing doing this again. Never. Like, this is stupid. And like, as soon as he was, someone was like, should we go back in? I was like, yep, let's go back in. Um, and yeah, that, like, to me, that was just crazy. Just crazy. Um, Now I've gone ice fishing again, on smaller lakes in shanties, and then they have these like tents. It's like a fishing shelter, but it's just a tent. I've been in those, and those are perfectly fine. Um, but they were on smaller lakes, so you didn't have to worry about the ice breaking around you. So you worked at an ice rink for 10 years. So when I was in Ohio, we did go ice skating, and I only fell once. I haven't been ice skating in at least 3 years. I think it's actually been closer to like five. Um, but I only fell once, and that was when, I'll say this: my niece and nephew have gotten to be really good ice skaters. My nephew plays hockey, so he's gotten really good. Like he's skating backwards and everything, right? But my niece is 8, and she's a really good ice skater. And I fell because I was trying to go as fast as her. She's a better ice skater than me now. Uh, but yeah, I was trying to catch up to her, and I exceeded my talents. And it was at the end of the thing, but I was like, when I was going through what I knew I was comfortable with, I didn't fall, and that's a win for me. I've never been the best ice skater. I've just, we played hockey and stuff. Um, but yeah, I was never the best skater. My brother played hockey in high school, um, and now his son plays hockey. He's not like on a traveling team yet, but I think that day is coming. I worked at an Olympic training facility for speed skating, dated an Olympic silver medalist. We were giving my brother a bunch of crap about his skates. They badly need sharpened. Uh, my mom, she was like trying to sell all of our skates years ago. I'm like, Mom, they still fit me. When I come home, if there's ice, I will skate. But I think that my brother has them all. But his son is my brother is the tallest out of all of us. He's 6 foot. I'm 5'8". My younger brother or my older brother's like 5'7". Um, but yeah, my nephew definitely has my brother. He's a little bit shorter than me. A little bit. We're right there. But he's 12 years old. He's the biggest kid on his team. So you know, he's enjoying playing. Uh, I I would love to see him play high school hockey. I think he will do very well playing. My husband and his bros lived in Parma. They used to throw hot water on the street to play ice hockey in their tennis shoes. We used to. My brother used to put up 2x8s and then get plastic Visqueen and then just spray water on it and turn that into a hockey rink. But now my parents live on a lake, so we don't have to do that. But not too far from where my parents live, one of the kids on my nephew's team, his parents are building a house and they have a pond. There or yeah, it's like partially a pond, but I think they're going to make it bigger, simply so that when it freezes, they can uh, ice skate. I think I've showed the pictures before of. I'll have to go through and show them of when we cleared off the because my parents live in like this little inlet, so it freezes very fast compared to the rest of the lake. Um, yeah, their area will very quickly freeze. Um, and So we wait till we know that it's thick enough, and we'll go out there, clear off all the snow, and uh, we get the kids out there. And because me and my brother, when we go out there, because we're out there, the kids stay out there almost all day long then. And we'll do like we'll bring out like a burn barrel or something, and normally make a couple cocktails and just be outside. And yeah, the kids ice skate. We normally make a section for hockey and a section for figure skating. Because my nieces have taken some figure skating classes when they were younger. Uh, the older one, you know, she'll still skate. She's just not as into it. But the younger one, she's yeah. I tried talking her into figure skating. I think she wants to play hockey. Um, and I feel so for those ages, the hockey teams are co-ed. I feel bad for the boys that she'll play against because she's not one of these little girls who's not afraid to hit. She will. Even though there's no checking, oh, they still hit. You know what I don't miss about the snow? The snow. The snow gets annoying. Yeah. Um we used to, me, my dad, my younger brother, we used to always like whoever would get home first or whoever would wake up first would be the one to go out and shovel or uh, use the snowblower. The last couple times I was in Ohio when it did snow, well, this time it did snow a little bit, and I just, grabbed my dad's shovel, cleared off his little walk. Not so much for my parents, but for the mailman because he's got to get up there. Um, but yeah, like, and now me and my brother, we just tell all the kids, look, everyone's grabbing a shovel. We're all outside, and we'll just shovel everything. And now the kids are realizing, oh, we can make money doing this. So now even my little niece, she's now going around with her friends and shoveling snow. We'll shovel your thing for $10. Um, which is good for kids to learn, to do that. But it's also good for your neighborhood. Get all your stuff shoveled. Clean off the snow off your cars. Don't be that guy that just clears a little like you got to clear off your windshield. You got to clear off uh you got to clear off um the hood because if not it's going to blow up and still blind you. Like it really doesn't take that long. It amazes me that people don't clear off their windshield. Uh if not already subscribe, it's free. Let's get Skipper to 6K. Skipper doesn't deserve 6K. Yeah, go subscribe to Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. If you guys can, we're gonna try to get TC over 5K. It, he's over 4, and he's getting close to 5. Um, and I believe we have Squid close to 3. Last I think she was at like 2,600. So I'm perfectly happy with as many subscribers as I have. And because I have as many, YouTube does put me in front of people more. It sucks that that's the way it is. So I'm still growing. Um, and I believe it's more a natural growth of the channel. Um, our daughter's like that in baseball and football. I picked her up from school one day. Covered in mud. She said you should see the boys there. Oh, you're at 3K. Okay. Congratulations. See, Skip Squid is got that steady growth. Yeah, we got to get AVA to 1K. But he also needs his watch time. Do you know what your watch time is, AVA? Because if everyone watches a video of AVA's, he'll be monetized, at least partially monetized. Once he gets over 1K, then he'll have full monetization. Um, it isn't the snow, it's the wind and the sub-zero temperature. Well, that's where you are. You get the wind because you're in Minnesota, and there's nothing in South Dakota and North Dakota to stop that wind, so it hits you. Uh, when I was in Ohio, like we would get lake effect snow, which sucks. You just get dumped on with snow. It's not even that cold, and you'll just have a shit ton of snow. That's what sucks. Squid is going to make it to 5K before I get to 4,500. I That's very possible. Um, and I pushed out your drive time dialectics yesterday, TC. You know, we all we all do a pretty good job of promoting each other in our circles. Um, I do ABA. I do want to do a stream with you, a live stream. You're at 512 of 3K. Okay, so AVA. If we do a live and we're both live together, but I tell everyone stop watching on my channel, go watch at yours. That's you know we're already seeing your thing is going up, but we need to get it to go up faster. Um, but yeah, like the algorithm is funny. You got to do things that people like these lives. I know people are going to come in. I have 118 people watching right now. I know that's what I'm going to get. I have videos that I know are going to go out that might not get as much viewership, but it's going to get me a different viewer than these lives. So, you build circles of fans. Like I know some people like my um they like my what's it? My dash cam videos, okay? So they'll watch my dash cam videos. Some people will watch these lives. Those are two different groups. Some people, if I do something on Second Amendment stuff, a different group will watch that. But by having these different circles of fans, some are going to have crossover, like a Venn diagram. Not always, but you're telling YouTube's algorithm put me in front of more people. The other thing is your titles, your thumbnails, and your descriptions all have to match. If they don't match, YouTube has no clue what to do with that video. If you have uh, uh, if your title is in your thumbnail and your description has the same words, you're telling YouTube, anyone who's looked for these keywords, put this in front of them. And I can tell when I've done it right and when I've done it wrong, because when I do it right, I'll see like a boost in viewership and a boost in subs. And for a little bit I kind of got away. But Georgie's been great. Georgie and Mr. Coop have been really good at showing me how to use AI to build the thumbnails. And that, if you guys saw when my thumbnails changed, that did help my viewership. I'm never going to get there. This has just turned into chicken streams for me. Well, your chicken streams are great for viewership and making money. Um, there's actually several YouTubers. Watch some videos, some recent videos about boosting your viewership. Like there are people who this is all they do, and they put out videos teaching you. Um, and I think what you do, TC, and this is why you're on the show, is because you help people. What sucks about that is not all of our videos of us helping people are going to get a lot of views. They're not. But uh, what it gives us is credibility, which You cannot pay enough money for credibility. Uh, if it was between having 6,000 subs or 1,000, but that 1,000 I've got credibility, I would much rather have that credibility. It's not going to make me um, it's not going to make me rich, but it's much more rewarding and makes this all worthwhile. I try not to chase views. I really do. Like I could tag Jeremy Handles in every video because I do end up talking about him. But you notice this one? No, it's just coffee with the skipper. Um, and I lose views because of that. If I put at what the hales in every single one, it will increase my views. It'll bring more people here. But I'm not chasing the views. The views will come. I am all about being a credible source of information. Sharing your stuff on social media is a great way to get your content out there. Yeah, if you having groups like TC, like with your stuff being in some of the First Amendment auditing groups on Facebook, like putting your videos in those do help. I notice when I post, like when we have a veteran on, if I send it to, there's a couple groups like Homefront Sit Rep, they have their own group. And I've told Willis, you ever want to put your stuff in the Veteran Nation group, by all means. And he was like, hey, same thing with my stuff. So when I have veteran centric stuff, like that veteran in Tennessee who passed away and they wanted people for the funeral, I put that in his group. Because it gets you out there. Um, and that's what I would much rather have is the credibility, because those are going to bring you the fans who'll stick with you through thick and thin. There were people who uh, stopped watching this channel in the last month. And I won't get into why, but they stopped watching this channel. And I'm okay with it. I don't need them. If they're not that big of a fan, you don't have to watch me. Go watch whoever you're going to watch. You know, I I would much rather if I only had, the same 100 people here every morning, I'm good with that. Um and like today I'll be on other people's channels and they're asking me for things about the VA. I've learned a lot. And that's another circle. VA, not just veterans, but VA claim help, VA knowledge. That's another circle. The veterans, because there are a lot of veterans who'll watch. I get comments all the time. You need to do more veteran stuff. Okay, well, I realize what a lot of those people want is they want a vet bro show. It's never been what I've been about. I don't want the views. I'm trying to help people understand what we need to do to save our republic. Oh, I totally get you. Totally get you, TC. Um, and you know, we just have to we have to determine what that circle is. We get part of that. I get political people. Um, yeah, but what other circles can we do to expand that? Like, I think your chicken streams are great. I think the stuff you do with the Libertarian Party is great. Um, how else can we expand that? And that's what we need to be looking for. Also, with you, I think you should look at what can you do with the Veteran Nation Foundation in your area. Uh, you know, I'm doing the 5K here. I'm not saying that's exactly what you have to do, but if you can, bring uh bring veterans in your local area, you know, that need help, and we give them money, and we can get some publicity for you locally on that, I think that actually would be great for you. Uh, you know, I local leaders, when you bring them on the show, it doesn't bring you a ton of views. However, if you have a local community that will bring you in views. I've got a friend of mine who just she just won a seat on the um, what do we call it, the school board. I've asked her to come on the show and talk about what she wants to do with the school board. Will that get me a ton of views? No, but it'll get me a ton of local views. Like 100 people locally is a big deal. Are we doing a live tomorrow? Okay. Uh, I don't know yet. I'll reach out to the woman and ask. She asked for it this weekend, but she couldn't tell me. We have a woman who is working with J6 prisoners. She's been volunteering, um, working with a couple of the lawyers. She also does a prayer vigil. She lives in DC, and she wants to come on the show. And I said, "Yeah, we'll have you on. Uh, we just have to work it out." She has not messaged me since yesterday. But let me take a look. I'll send her a thing today. Oh, I hate some of these things. Some of these places, they just send you junk. Uh, what day is good? So there, I reached out to her again. We'll see. Honestly, the hardest part of doing a show like this is guests. When you get guests like that, because I'm not saying her specifically, but just those. Oh my God. Sad news this morning. Guest of the show, veteran, friend, Uncle Frank has passed away. That is sad. Uncle Frank, he's been a big supporter of us, uh, a, a good person. Um, this is sad. So Yoda just reached out to me. So sad. Um, oh, he posted in here. I apologize, Yoda. I didn't see it. Um, yeah, Yoda. If you need any money for Uncle Frank's funeral, let me know. Um, we do have money in the account I can send you if you need help contacting. So here's what you should know. Uncle Frank, um, as a veteran, the VA will give him a coffin. They also will put a headstone. Um, the coffin, they'll also cremate if he's looking to be cremated. So if you need any help with that, we can help. Um, But those are the things the VA absolutely provides. They'll also provide a flag. Um, we can also, if you need people for his um, the detail, if you're doing a military service, we can help with that. Uh, I, as far as the headstones, I'm not a big fan of the headstones unless he's being buried in a national cemetery. And I don't know, I don't want to get too into what you guys are doing. Um, just know that if you need help or advice, we are here. We will help you as much as we can. Um, uh, but there's a lot of things out there, but there's also things you don't have to worry about, and that's why I'm talking about this stuff. So don't think that you have to. They're just decisions that have to be made. Uh, but don't think. I don't want you to think that money's going to be a big problem. The VA covers a lot. We can also help with stuff. Um, if you know, and there are ways to do different things. Like the Coast Guard will give him a Viking funeral if that's what you want. you know, they will do a lot of these things. And the thing is, don't be afraid to ask. Uh, Funeral homes normally end up being the first point of contact, but they do things their way. So don't be afraid. I'm sure Uncle Frank was a part of some veteran organizations. Feel free to reach out to them. Feel free to reach out to me. But I don't want you to think that you know if we need to do a fundraiser, we will. Don't think that money is going to be a problem. And if you can, at some point, send me an address or somewhere where people can send flowers and things to your family. Because a lot of people, uh, love Uncle Frank. People still message me about when Uncle Frank was on, and Uncle Frank would now expect us to pick on him. Yeah, he would not want us to be sad. He would want us to celebrate his life. Uh, but Uncle Frank also wants us to take care of his family. So, Yoda, you and your family, you guys need anything, all you have to do is ask. We have people that will absolutely, help you. Um, yeah, I'm glad that we got Uncle Frank on the show. I'm glad that we were able to do that. I know we had some technical issues, but that was special. Uh, but yeah, and someone like Uncle Frank is someone we need to celebrate. So, how do you all think? How do you all think we should celebrate him? Um, you know, if it's if we want to, do we want to? Is there anything Uncle Frank was big on that we want to raise money for? Because we can do that. We have that ability. Well, I'll absolutely do a fundraiser for Uncle Frank. Um, you know, is there someone that Uncle Frank cared about that we want to make their life better? Let's do that. So, yeah, that's the good thing about us having the foundation that we, unlike the leeches, we can raise money. It's going to go into its own fund. Um, if you want me to do a shirt for Uncle Frank, I'll happily do it. Or, a hat. I We know that Uncle Frank liked fishing. So if we want to do something for, you know, young people in your area to fish, we I'm just throwing things out, Yoda. You know, he had a heart blockage. He didn't make it out of surgery. Well, he had a lot of people who cared for him, you know, and you are very fortunate because he left you with a lot of great memories. But I definitely want to, you can call me today. Here, I'll give you my number. So there, uh, Yoda, you've got my number. Uh, let's do something that he would appreciate. So that's the best thing I can see. Uncle Frank helped a lot of people, a lot of people. So let's keep doing that. Video compilation. I would love to do something like that. Uh, do a live on our phones and all have technical issues. Well, if we're doing it on our phones, we will have technical issues. He was one of yeah, for a lot of us, Uncle Frank was always there in the comments whenever we were live, he would be there. Um, yeah, yeah. Yoda, take some time when you're ready. If you want to reach out to me, as you see, you've got a ton of people with platforms. We can do something. We can absolutely do something. The coldest day in Florida, I believe it, and it's that much colder because Uncle Frank is gone. Uh, but uh, the things you were doing, Yoda, because we talked about like the stuff you were doing for I remember Thanksgiving. You know, Uncle Frank did a lot for people, and you made them happy, and that's what's important. So what can we do? I'm trying to think. Does he have a YouTube? I I don't think so. I don't think Uncle Frank did, and I don't think Yoda does. But that doesn't mean we can't do something. Like I'm just trying to think. I know Uncle Frank was big on taking the kids fishing, but I mean Yoda knows more. Whatever Yoda wants to do, the rest of us will be good little soldiers and march forth. Yeah, and there's people all over the world. Lulu is Yoda has TikTok. Um, yeah, if we can get a link to that and we'll all share it. I should start a TikTok. I just I need more social media like I need a hold in my head. But I do know Georgie's been pushing me to do TikTok. Um, um, like, is there anything Yoda or Yoda? Is there anything that Uncle Frank cared about? Like, where I know some people like putting bricks in walls at places like museums, uh, like what am I trying? Zoos, stuff like that. He loved to fish. He loved trains. He loved Coco. He loved buying fishing stuff for the special needs groups home. Take the special needs kids fishing and teaching them. I'm all about that. If you want to raise money for that, I'm all about it. Uh, your TikTok is down. So you just figure out what you want to do, and we can collaborate on it. But something like that, I think, would be very worthwhile. Um, I don't think it's under a ban right now. I know there's talk of it, but I don't. And your Aunt Elizabeth, okay, yeah, whatever. We're all on board, but we also want to make sure that with funeral and everything, that those costs are covered. So if we don't have to do everything right today, but yeah, selling shirts and do rags and stuff through the holidays. So I've got money in the account. If you need money for any of the stuff, you let me know. That Squid did her stream where she raised over $60, and she sent that, and that's in the account. Fish with Uncle Frank Foundation would be a cool legacy. Uh, pair up with this local scouting. Yeah, yeah. These are all good ideas. I mean, even if we could do like it, I don't know. If someone he loves hats, okay, we can do a hat for him. Um, wouldn't it be great if we could get a fishing spot? You know, the Frank and Elizabeth children's fishing. I'm just throwing out ideas. Good morning, Magic Angel. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, DW. Good morning, Melissa. Just getting caught up with everybody here. So, and see, like with, and this is a good thing for showing TC for helping veterans in his area. TC is part of Veteran Nation Foundation. He does good work with people. This can be just one more thing if he wants to do it. Can do it up there. Um, you know, we can absolutely do that. I see it's 7:30. I don't want to run into Georgie and Coop's time, so in the next 15 minutes I'll be ending things. And then everybody can go over and watch their show. I'm just trolling some people on X. They're all responding to me. Um, yeah, that's one thing I do. I don't. Here's one thing I do want to show. This is for the VA. This is one thing that they do: the veterans' headstones, markers, medallions, plaques, and urns. Um, so these are all the things that we're all of us veterans were all able to get. Yeah, and that's it. One of the special needs kids getting mistreatment at their job. He was helping them get the EEOC involved. Let us know what we can do with that, Yoda. You have access to my platform, TC's platform, Squid. We can help with that stuff. That's that for me. That's harassment and corruption. I hate that crap. Um, The veteran or service member died on or after 1 November 1990. Their grave is currently marked with a privately purchased headstone, or the veteran or service member was buried in an unmarked grave anywhere in the world. As for veterans who served enlisted, 24 months. Okay, yeah, so he see, this is the problem with the VA. They get too much into the eligibility. Why? Why? Like, so you can apply for a plaque or an urn. So this is the form right here that you would need to fill out. Normally, actually, if you're dealing with a funeral home, they'll fill these things out as best as possible or work with you. Can I choose the type of headstone or marker? I'm trying to get a picture of them so people can see. Okay, so this is the granite. These are the flat grave markers. These are the ones that I normally see, and I actually don't like these. These I'm okay with. These I like. Yeah, these. This is the bronze marker. So if they're going to be on the like in a mausoleum, this is what you get. Bronze medallions. Yeah, you can choose these here. And the other thing is he's going to be buried next to your Aunt Elizabeth. Okay. Was the medallions. So that's the things that they offer for free. Where is the backup? Because they thought they provide a coffin as well. What I need to know about burial in a private cemetery: you don't have to pay for the headstone or marker itself, but you're responsible for the cost of placing it, called a setting fee. So if you need help with that, let us know. All you need to make arrangements is to have the headstone marker placed. Or you can put the medallion on a purchased headstone marker. Yeah, I thought that's for the medallion. Okay. Do they not provide a coffin? I thought they did. They do not provide caskets. Oh, I thought they did. Maybe that's just for military. Maybe that's where I got confused. Graves. So gravesite, headstone marker, uh, perpetual care, presidential memorial certificate, and U.S. flag. So don't forget. Yeah, you do get a flag. A casket and urn allowance. So they'll give you money for a casket or an urn. That's what they'll do. Yeah, the VA pays 13 for a casket. Okay, so I knew they did something. It's just been a while since I've had to deal with this. So, and here's the number to the VA. So I'm going to copy that, and I'll make sure you have that, as I'm sure you probably will. But this way you can reference it very quickly. DJ Radis is here. Welcome. Yeah, don't grieve alone. A lot of people loved Uncle Frank. You're not alone in this. Don't think you're alone. Um, let us, let us know what we need to do. You know, whatever whatever you need, we're here for you. So I am looking at the time. Uh we are coming up onto uh Georgie and Coop, so I am gonna have to wrap this up. Uh we do have Freedom Flock, so what I'll do is I will redirect to the Freedom Flock when we go. So let me set that up. There we go. Okay. So when this goes, it's going to redirect everyone to Freedom Flock. TC, everyone leave a message there, and then we'll have a few minutes before Georgie and oh wow, Georgie just sent me a picture of all the snow she's getting. Um, but then we'll have a few minutes before Georgie and Coop go live, and you guys will be able to check them out. Um, Squid, are you going live today? Or TC? You guys doing anything so that everyone can know before I get off of here? Or DJ Radis? But I got a feeling I'll see DJ Radis in Georgie and Coops as long as he's not working. Yeah, and don't think Yoda, as soon as I'm off of here, if you need to call me, you go right ahead. No problem at all. And I do want to thank the 4 people who are watching on Rumble. I appreciate that. We have so that means we have a total of 117. We got some on Twitter. We got 92 on YouTube, and then we got 4 on Rumble. Thank you. I'm just checking everything here. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go. So you guys don't have anything that you're gonna plug? TC, you going live today? And also, I want to do something for Uncle Frank. I want to create something for him in the merch store so that any money I get from that, it'll go straight to Yoda or whatever Yoda wants to set up for Uncle Frank. Who? Someone came for TC? Sorry, I'm Social Security has a small death benefit that helps. Thank you for that, BC Can. Thank you, because yeah, the thing is, all this stuff gets forgotten about. Hey, Georgie, I'm getting ready to end the stream, Georgie, and I've already been plugging you and Coop. Saying it's time for a sock party. uh, well, we all want to honor Uncle Frank. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, we all want to remember and honor Uncle Frank as best we can. So I'm running late. Take your time. Well, I'm just trying to get people's plugs in because we had Squid here. She might have had to run away from her computer, but everyone keep an eye open. Make sure you turn your notifications on for Squid. We know Coop and Georgie at 8 o'clock they will be going live. I would imagine TC's probably going to do a drive time dialectics today. I don't know. We are trying to do something this weekend. Like I said, we have a guest. I just don't know when that guest is going to be available. When I have more information on it, I will put it out. And it's someone who I think me and TC both want to talk to. I know I want to talk to her with what she's doing. She's been doing prayer vigils for the J6 prisoners. Uncle Frank blanket party Skipper. Also AVA, make sure you guys go over and watch one of his videos. Subscribe to AVA as well. And you know what? I was asked when am I going to do another game of Quiplash? Maybe I'll do that later on today. Maybe later on today, this afternoon. I don't want to step on anyone else's lives. That's now becoming the problem. There's so many people we support and they go at certain times. And I don't want to take anyone's live away. No chicken streams all day unless the YouTube kicks me off. Okay, so I'll go ahead and end this. It's going to take everyone over to Freedom Flock stream. And you'll have that for less than 15 minutes before Georgie and Coop, before they $5 a swing. Yeah, they'll have that for you'll have Freedom Flock for 15 minutes before Georgie and Coop start off with their show, and that way you can watch them as well. I will have them on in the background. I'll be cleaning my house. But today's an easier day for me. But yeah, I do want you guys think about it. Reach out to me. We want to help you guys. We want this to be as easy on you as possible. And we want to do something for Uncle Frank, because we love Uncle Frank and he will be very, very missed. I always enjoyed his comments. So yeah, rest in peace to Uncle Frank. So many of us loved him. And with that, I'll go ahead and end the show. And for Uncle Frank, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakening at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies, eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise, kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies, eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive, big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awaking to lighten her load. America's awaking to lighten her load.